My biggest ick is probably a man. So,
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Another day has passed and the liberals still amaze me on a daily basis. They are absolutely incredible how they just keep finding thing after thing after thing to complain about. I'm sure many of you guys have seen their new hit word now is ambush because, Trump ambushed the president of South Africa, right? And of course, they got to complain about the big beautiful bill passing the House too, right? They just never stop. They honestly never stop, guys. But that's what keeps us giggling, right? Let's get into it.
The government that we pay taxes to does not feel like it needs to give back to the American people via social programs, but in fact needs to give back to the ultra-wealthy via tax cuts. The big, beautiful bill that conservatives are trying to push through the House right now is a giant middle finger to lower and middle-class America. Essentially, conservatives are trying to say, stop being poor. And if you can't stop being poor, then you can just go ahead and starve and die because we fucking hate you. Some of us didn't fuck around, but we're all finding out because of you fucking fascist-loving asshole.
Hi, my name is Kristen Clifford, and I am the proud mother of 2 trans kids, a teenager and a young adult.
I keep trying to make a post, and then I get halfway through it, and I lose my fucking mind. What is happening in this fucking country is absurd. It's fucking absurd.
Ashley Babbitt, the woman who was shot on January 6th because she was at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th with the people who were there at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, her family is getting a $5 million taxpayer-funded settlement.
Where would white people be without white privilege and white supremacy? They did not earn their power through meritocracy. They earned it through terrorism and brutality.
Is anyone else jealous of how the other countries have put a stop to the right-wing political party? No, just me? Oh, everyone? Okay.
Okay, so I want to finally straighten something up. I'm sick and tired of Trump supporters calling me a Karen. You have no idea what that means. A Karen is privileged, entitled, microaggressive racism, anti-vax. Who does that sound like? The Trump administration? Trump followers? You're the Karens.
So I had to use the restroom, and I want y'all to see, because back in 1975, 77, I remember a white-only bathroom and water fountain. But they got the audacity to make a water fountain for a dog. Y'all see this shit? They made one for a dog before they made one for a black person. And then you wonder why I walk around with what I walk around with. Don't ask me how I feel the way I feel in 2025. Because they throw shit like that in your face. When whoever bring their dog out here can bring some water for their own dog. Y'all think about a dog, but you ain't think about a black man and a black woman and a black child. You told them they couldn't drink at the water fountain. And you want me to not teach my grandkids that that's how some of my grandparents and my parents then went through. Kiss my ass.
So this older black lady here literally has an issue with there being a water fountain for a dog at the park in the year 2025 because she wants to still live like it's 1975 in her mind, right? That way she can hang on to that anger. But again, let's come back to the present. It's 2025. What issue does she have? What problem does she have going to the park? Is that dog fountain really bothering her that much? Or does she see that and she's literally getting infuriated thinking, man, back in 1975, there was white-only bathrooms and white-only water fountains. Now they have a water fountain for a dog. How can they do that 50 years later? Is she not happy that the days of racism are over? Or sorry, in their mind, it's far from over, right? Because I forgot about, the privilege that we have. Completely forgot about that, sorry. This clip just simply amazed me because we're literally looking at, I would say she's what, in her 60s maybe? So For the past 50 years, again, I'm going by 1975 as she pointed out, for the past 60 years, she's been absolutely miserable and full of hatred. She's obviously one of those older black women that are self-entitled, that feel that white people are racist and that she has every right to be racist towards white people, despite the fact that the days of racism towards black people are over. Now, are you still gonna have some bigots and racists here and there? Yes, you are. They're on all sides of the playing field. They come in all sorts of shapes, sizes, and colors. It's time to get over it.
A little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs to me that Kilmar Abrego Garcia's return has not been facilitated and no one's doing anything about it. We dove into a constitutional crisis and now we're all sitting comfortable in the warm water as it boils.
Good morning, Kristen Clifford here, proud mom of 2 trans kids.
I'm so glad that this big, beautiful congressional budget bill is going to completely collapse and gut Medicaid and Medicare and kill lots and lots and lots of people, including senior citizens and children. But you know what? I'm really, really glad that the billionaires get another tax break. They deserve it, right, guys? They work so hard. It's so cool. Really happy about it.
And I'm growing angrier and angrier every fucking... I swear to God, I'm not going to make it through this administration without catching a fucking assault charge or getting my natural fucking citizen ass here deported.
Every time I open this app and see a new atrocity that's happening in America, I just want to...
Well, we're at 120 days now. And I'm just tired.
So I'm hearing a lot of people are waking up to Trump and how nuts he is. Welcome. I know it is very scary here because yes, he is the new Hitler and he has the backing of Congress and the Supreme Court. Yes, this is why I was crying and freaking out back in November. Yes, welcome.
This goes out to the Republican MAGAs. You are a threat to our country. We have the worst president ever. And he's a narcissist, racist, and he's horrible. And you support him. So Republicans, believe me, when it comes around to vote again, you guys are going to be out. Out! It's going to be the Democrats that take over. And they're going to impeach him and get him out of there. Bet my word.
Well, once again, what we have here is another liberal that just wants to bitch and complain, but she doesn't know about what. Or you know what? Let me correct myself there. She knows what she wants to bitch about, but she just doesn't have any actual reasoning behind it. How on earth is MAGA, conservatives, Republicans, how on earth are they a threat to the country? How is Donald Trump a narcissist? Do you have any proof that he's actually a racist? And he's far from horrible. He's actually quite a spectacular president, probably gonna go down as the #1 president in history by the time his term is done. And the worst part is, most of you liberals out there, most of you leftists out there, most of you far left progressives out there, you all know this to be true, but you'll never, ever, ever admit it. But the truth is, on our side of the field, we don't care if you'll ever admit it. We know what's going on. Donald Trump is helping you as well, whether you like to admit it or not. Now, she wants to daydream about when the Democrats get back in office and they're going to impeach Trump and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay, whatever. As I predicted in the past, Democrats aren't getting in there for at least another 12 years. You guys have went so progressive, so far left, your ideology is so out of whack that you guys have lost a lot of voters at this point. If Democrats ever want back in the White House, they really honestly have no choice but to literally wipe the slate clean and start over. A whole new grassroots party. But until then, until that day finally comes, you liberals just need to learn how to deal with it. But by all means, up until that time, feel free to keep on jumping in front of cameras and making baseless claims.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought we collectively agreed that we are no longer going to Target. Why is Target's parking lot full, and why am I seeing people go into Target? To be clear, I am not going to Target. I'm going to a place over here. What are we doing people, we don't need anything from Target.
I do not hate to say this, but Trump derangement syndrome just does not exist. If you truly believe that citizens being concerned with the actions of a sitting president makes them some way deranged or obsessed with him, then you just have an issue with accountability. I think it's very logical for the citizens of a nation to want to be involved and concerned with the actions of their president, especially when it comes to criticizing ill-planned, non-researched, or straight-up destructive policies and rhetoric. I would like to remind you, and this is in no way my defense of him because he is still a terrible person, Republicans had a field day criticizing Obama for wearing a tan suit. So I would say criticisms of Trump's unprofessional posts, unqualified staff, and his rollbacks of civil rights era acts are both justified and absolutely necessary.
Good morning, Kristen Clifford here, proud mom of 2 trans kids. I actually made a video in my car about how you should not buy that Billie Eilish lip liner for your mom for Mother's Day, but then I decided that I liked it.
And the fact that I have to fucking go out into the wild and run into you fucking people who say, "Oh, Joe Biden was tanking our economy. Look at what Donald Trump is doing." I want to punch every one of you in the fucking throat. Every fucking one of you. Have a great Sunday.
And if your ass voted for Donald Trump, I don't want to see you here.
I just saw a video that the Wall Street Journal literally posted an article saying that they're going to make a reality show about immigrants fighting for citizenship to get into the United States. I fucking hate it here.
I'm gonna make sure everybody here on this following understands where I'm at. I want this man's dental records to be found. I hope he's so dead they don't know his face from his body.
There are folks out here saying, you know, there's no evidence of this, there's no evidence of that, and it's like, it's all over the place. So for those of you saying, I don't have any white privileges, have you ever bothered Googling white privilege? Have you ever bothered like looking at the list of privileges that are available? Because it's ridiculous to me that in this day and age, people can say these things, and it's like, there's so many resources available to you. A lot of you are willfully ignorant, meaning that you choose to just not know. You don't want to know. There's so many resources, so many books, so many people out there, you know, screaming their heads off, but you choose to not know. You don't want to know. And you want to distract people like me being like, prove it, find resources. Why? I don't need to do any more free labor for you. I'm doing free labor for you right now, educating you for free right now. There are so many resources. If you don't know, it's because you don't want to know. And you don't want to know because you're enjoying white supremacy and you would hate to see what harm it really causes. That's a you problem.
Oh, here we go with the white privilege thing again. She's claiming that we can go on Google and there's a list of privileges out there. I wasn't aware of this. I don't know, you other white people out there, did you guys know this? Is there other services out there that like I'm entitled to with my whiteness that I'm just not taking advantage of? Am I literally being told, or taught is what I should say, because she's teaching us, right? That I'm 50 years old. Have I been white wrong all this time? Or to be fair, she is stating that there's privileges out there that we're not even aware of. Okay, so let's look at it from that angle. So does that mean like I just take certain things for granted? That I think these things are available to everybody, but really it's just to me. So like say for instance, example, if I go into like McDonald's and I order like a double Big Mac, is that only for white people? Like people of brown skin, they can't get the double Big Mac? They can just get the regular Big Mac? Or chicken nugget sauces? Maybe there's not as many sauces available to them. But no, that can't be it. That can't be it. Because say for instance, another example, if you're gonna order from like Uber Eats or one of those type of services, how would they know when you're ordering through the app if you're white or black? So no, it can't have to do with that. So no, the truth is I must just be being white incorrectly all these years and not taking advantage of this white privilege that's apparently out there. Or maybe I'm actually just looking at this completely wrong from both angles. And it's not that I'm not being white properly. And it's not that I have these privileges that I'm not aware of, because I mean, I've been in line, now that I think about it, I've been in line at McDonald's and there's been people with brown skin there that have ordered double Big Macs and they can get the same nugget sauces that I do. So I think I am looking at this incorrectly. And I think what's really going on here is we have yet another liberal who's just fabricating drama. Yeah, I think that's it. I think, you know what, I was getting excited for no reason there. I was gonna like, you know, start looking around and see if there's like any type of like white only coupons or anything like that where I can save myself money. But I don't really think that that's a thing. So unfortunately, what I think it really just is here is we have this young black lady here that's just gaslighting other people in public and pulling out the race card and just trying to get dramatic and spreading her own propaganda. So kind of got excited there because, you know, I really honestly thought that I was going to be able to like go out and use these abilities I never knew that I had, but what can you do, right? I guess I'll just have to still settle, live day by day, pay for expensive groceries, fight to pay my rent, just like everybody else. Isn't that kind of strange? All right, guys, that's it for this video. If you guys like this type of content, please consider subscribing to the channel if you are new. If not, if you can like the video, share the video, comment, interact with it in one way or another. And until then, I shall see you guys in the next video. Have a good one, guys.
You know what I have, and I'm pretty sure the rest of the world is starting to have it too? Liberal fatigue. Because their platform is genuinely one of the most vile things I've ever seen in my 24 years of being on this earth, and yet they still feel justified going around giving everybody else a moral litmus test that they themselves can't even pass. Their platform is built off of things like dismembering children and praising terrorists, and then they wonder why they don't really have the credibility, and then that results in them having to throw a tantrum with their mob mentality when you don't say and think exactly like they do. And it's getting pretty tiring. And it's why so many people are starting to leave the movement, even people who were staunch Democrats their entire lives. President Donald Trump not only won in a landslide against terrorists, but we took the House and the Senate for a reason, and that's because Americans are saying enough is enough. We have real, actual issues going on right now, and you're crying over misgendering somebody. You're crying over an illegal immigrant actually being deported, and you think that I'm going to sit there and care about that when I can't even feed my family, and then you want to tell me that I'm the problem? It's why people are giving so much backlash to people like Chappell Roan and Rachel Zegler, because they are the embodiment of liberal privilege and entitlement, and we don't want it anymore. You don't even understand how privileged you have to be to think the way that the left does, to think that the United States of America is really a third world country, to sit there and cry that they're oppressed as women living in this country when there are women who have absolutely nothing. So we are sick and tired of the lecturing. You could take your moral high ground and shove it where the sun don't shine, because we don't want to hear it anymore. You guys have proven time and time again that you know how to do absolutely nothing other than cry and use scare tactics to force people to speak on things that they're not even educated enough to talk on. You know how to crash an economy, right? You know how to let illegal immigrants into this country where they rape and murder women, but when it comes time to actually honor those victims, all of a sudden you want to be silent, even though you're the movement of believe all women and let's champion women's rights, and we don't even feel safe to walk at night, and you want to sit there and try to tell me that I'm not a good person? Yeah, save it for somebody who cares.